Today on 16-Bit Game Review.
I jump around. I'm playing on a computer. Finally, I'm stuck in an elevator. Hello and welcome. The Sega Genesis has a lot of great games on it, and a lot of them look like this. As you can see, there's not a lot of unique looking or playing games in there. There do exist on the Genesis. Some of them are preferable on a portable system, and others are designed for software and hardware that's much more powerful and capable than the Genesis actually is. Then you have what I define as the rare game. This is the game that's designed by a publisher who doesn't typically port their arcade games to the home systems. A company that decided once that it was going to port one of its arcade games to the Super Nintendo, and because it was successful, they decided to port it again to the Genesis. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heist. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heist does a lot similar to Turtles in Time, that if you were to blur the two games, it would be very difficult to distinguish between the two, because the controls are the same, the way the game feels and plays is the same, the way the enemies move around on the screen, act and behave, and even look, it's the same. Where the games are different, though, is that Hyperstone Heist has different stages, the bosses, the way they act and behave are completely different, and the overall art style, aesthetics, and music are night and day. The Genesis is more or less born to play a game like this. The controls are so smooth and perfect that I hardly notice them. You will never have a problem fighting with this game. Every punch will connect with an enemy if you are skilled enough to put your character in front of one. And it's just so nice to play with a 6-button Genesis controller that I can't think of another way to play it. I want to connect my Genesis controller into a Super Nintendo to see if I get the same response of Turtles in Time. The gameplay is superb in the same regard. No enemy feels too overpowered or too unbeatable. There's one enemy that's a little bit frustrating, but they don't use them enough for it to become a real problem. Other than that, guy, the enemies are very easy to beat, especially if you understand the AI. I spent a long time playing, toying, and researching how the AI works in this game to create my own beat-em-up game called Robots of Rage, available for free on Android and iOS. Download links are in the description. The basic premise of the AI is as follows. If there can only be 4 enemies on screen at a given time, enemies 1 and 2 will be on either side of you, enemies 3 and 4 will be stationary at fixed points. These enemies cannot move, and if you get close to them, they will grab you. Enemies 1 and 2 are free to attack you if they stay still for too long. If you start jumping around, they will never attack you. There are certain enemies that will attack you quicker than other enemies, and it's based on an enemy-to-enemy basis. So be cautious. However, if you move around a lot and do a lot of jumping and kicking moves, these enemies will not hurt you a lot, and you can probably take down a lot of them and get very far in the game without losing a life. So, essentially, jump around vertically and move in a vertical motion, and you will live a lot longer. The same can actually be applied to bosses. The boss strategy is very simple. You wait until the boss stays still for too long, and then you go in for an attack. 3 to 4 hits should usually do it, and then get the hell out of the way. After you get out of the way and do the same thing for a few times, the boss is usually done. This strategy works for every single boss fight, even up to the final boss. Yes, it does, and it's shown in the exact same way as Turtles in Time, except it's done a little bit differently because the MacGuffin is a little bit different. Just watch the rest of this and you'll understand. Hyperstone Heist isn't the prettiest game on the Genesis, but it does a very good job to stick out. It has a beautiful color palette, and just the way the game looks in contrast with all the stages, it does an extremely good job. Each setting fits the feel perfectly, and the way each stage relates to the music, just perfect. Hyperstone Heist has the same music as its arcade and Super Nintendo brethren, and it does an extremely good job of a Genesis rendition of them. Every stage music sounds absolutely beautiful, and it fits the mood of the stage very well. It has that feel of urgency, mystery, and awe to it. It is an absolute blast to listen to. TMNT Hyperstone Heist is an extremely addictive, very well built Genesis arcade beat 'em up game, and I'd recommend everyone should go out and play it. However, to go out and buy it, you need to have a bit of spare cash. It's the cheapest version of Turtles in Time that you can get your hands on, but even still, it's above $50 on average, and that's a little bit too much to go and spend on a game where you could have easily put it into something like Comic Zone and Sonic the Hedgehog. So, with that being said, if you have the spare change, go out and get it. But if you really just want to play it, I'm pretty sure there's a good emulator out there that you can go and try it out. But overall, go and play it. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the game and liked the video, please check out Robots of Rage for Android and iOS. I spent a lot of time building this game, and this game was my primary inspiration for making it. So please check it out if you can. It's free and it's available for mobile phones. So if you have a mobile phone and you want to try it out, even for a little bit, download links are in the description. As well, if you liked the videos, please check out the annotation below for more videos and the cards. Also, like or dislike the video if you liked or disliked it, and leave a comment if you have anything you'd like to say. If you want to see more videos from us, please subscribe, check out our Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. We do stuff there from time to time. Anyways, thank you for watching.